All right, we're good.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, the first item on the agenda is to discuss the Renew Cumberland Grant Fund. And we have made our application for reimbursement of all of the expenses that we incurred, basically from March through September 30th. And that request to Cumberland County totals just over $24,000. County has received that. We did get a call from Kirk Stoner, and they're processing that request. So we have a few, about $30,000 outstanding in the grant. And some of those improvements can be used for the meeting room. So let's start there. Right now we have purchased new chairs, office chairs and a podium. Those improvements, and I think we have 2 folding tables. I think we have about $1,200 in expenses so far. Our intern, Jackson Penner, helped come up with a program for the smart TV. He priced all the items through Target, and there's a considerable savings over CurbTech, with a total cost being $1,192.95. So that includes the smart TV, a mount for the wall for the TV, an Acer 11.6 touchscreen Chromebook, cable, and wireless keyboard and mouse. All those items come up to $1,192.95. Again, the smart TV was part of our meeting room improvements. So at this time, we can go ahead and make that purchase and turn our receipts into Cumberland County for the meeting room. I suspect in total we'll have probably about $3,100, $3,200 for the county. The next question becomes the borough office. We have a proposal from Tucky Restoration, basically to install a new customer service window. Tucky proposes to do that by taking the wall leading from the borough office out to the foyer and bumping that wall in 3 feet, relocating the door, and installing a new service window with a remote control service drawer. Basically, the employees will have no contact with the public. Everything is done through a service drawer, much like what you would see in a bank teller window at a drive-up bank, that same type of mechanism. The total cost, which includes resetting the wall, the glass, the specially designed pass-through drawer, new vinyl flooring to repair the disturbed areas, repainting of the office and trim, $11,168, which Ken has discounted generously by $2,651, making the total cost for the office renovations $8,517. So this would include one more item, which is our Aeroclave device, which you approved at the last meeting. And Cumberland County, Kirk Stoner did contact me, and he said rather than have us purchase the device, wait for 30 days to be reimbursed, the county would like to just go ahead and purchase that for us, make payment from our grant funds, and get that device to us. So this week, Kirk is going to call we're going to wrap up the purchase of that device, and that will be $16,500 taken off of the grant. So the question becomes, does the council wish to go ahead with the office renovations in light of the discussions that we're having now to possibly move to a new municipal building next year? Is the $8,517 something that you wish to consider? I talked to Kirk Stoner about this. There's no obligation for the borough to take it. If you want to, notify the county that you do not want to go ahead with the work, the county will encumber the monies and possibly reallocate it in a second round of funding early next year.
But we can't.
And we would have an opportunity to reapply.
We can't reallocate that ourselves at this point.
No, we have certain expenses that have been approved.
Right.
We can either go with those expenses or deny the expenses.
Yeah.
But if we turn it back, Jack, we can reapply for it next year.
Well, there's no special standing though. I mean, we can reapply for it, but that doesn't mean we.
Doesn't guarantee that we're going to get it, but from what I understand, there are other municipalities that also have turned monies back that didn't need quite as much. And those unallocated funds have to be distributed somehow. So the county commissioners most likely would accept a new round of funding application. So I guess with only 2 members here, it's impossible to make a decision on this tonight. I don't know, Scott, if you want to bring it up later on during the finance portion of the monthly meeting, see how the members feel about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can bring it up then.
So we will go ahead with the purchase of the smart TV. Everyone's in agreement with that.
Yeah.
Even if we get the device, we can relocate it, move it to the new municipal building later.
Yeah.
Okay, the next item, there's a memo in your packet regarding the request to look at increasing the hourly rate of certain employees, part-time employees, bringing them all uniformly up to $15 per hour. And those employees include our police clerk, Alexis Gerhart, DPW worker Brian Bailey, part-time DPW worker Kerwood Weaver, and our school guard Wayne Hawkinsmith. And evening, Mayor.
Good evening, all.
The police clerk is currently earning $12.68 an hour. And I think at the time she was hired, there was some discussion by council, if she works out, you would like to give her a raise. Brian Bailey is at $14.54 an hour right now. An increase to $15 an hour would result in $265 additional for him. Kerwood Weaver is at $14.50 per hour. So the increase for Kerwood to $15 would amount to $384. School guard Wayne Hawkinsmith is at $13.53 an hour. An increase to $15 would cost $265. So the largest increase would be for the police clerk, $2,413. All totaled with the 4 employees, this would be an additional $3,327 in next year's budget.
Are we reimbursed by the school district still for?
Yes, they reimburse us the full cost of Mr. Hawkinsmith's salary. So anything that you give Mr. Hawkinsmith will be rolled into the new police contract.
I mean, and not that I want to not give Hockey the $15, but I think because he's on the same contract as everybody else, I feel like we probably should just keep it at whatever that contract is. Otherwise, all the other fire police are making,
Everyone
what
else
was
will
it?
go to 50.
Well, I mean, we can't control that, but because that's the school district's decision.
So,
But
well, what we pay the fire police, Scott, when they work for the borough, and Wayne is a fire policeman,
right.
so that would bump up all the fire police to $13.53 an hour as well. They would go to 15
Why does that happen?
because they're all basically in one unit. They're all auxiliary policemen or fire policemen, whatever you want to class them at.
So if any one of them gets a raise, everybody does? Is that the way it works?
Yeah.
or-
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Wayne, when he works for us, he's not working as a school guard. He's employed by the borough. He's actually an auxiliary policeman of the borough.
Why is that? That's just
It's very hard to find anyone who's willing to work as a school crossing guard for 1 hour a day. It's just, it's worked out that the school police could do it because when they finished with the bus duty, there was always someone who was willing to come down here and work. In the past, it was Bob Yost, then it was Don Kale, and now it's Wayne. So it's worked out that way by virtue of these men finishing up at the school. One guy comes down here and works, and
okay.
otherwise it's hard to find somebody who's willing to give up a half hour in the morning and a half hour at night.
I mean,
Any questions?
what's your thought on the, keeping him at the same, but our everybody else is the 15? Because his pay currently is what the contract is with the high school, right? Or with the school district.
Yeah, we have a school district contract for the crossing guard, and it's currently set at $13.53.
So $15 doesn't get him anything. I mean, if he's being raised to $15, but he's already being paid $15.53.
13.
No, he's being paid $13.53.
13. I'm sorry, I misheard. Okay.
13.
And the concern about raising him is that everybody else who does the same function would have to be raised as well. And
Yes.
what do we know what that would cost us?
Well, it goes by the number of events every year, Jack. The auxiliary police work the Memorial Day Parade, they work Fountain Festival, they work Halloween, and if we have a Christmas event, they come out and work those things. So it's basically 4 or 5 events a year, maybe 3 to 4 hours per event. It's not an astronomical sum of money by comparison to other items in the budget, but just so you're aware, if we do it for one, you're gonna have to do it for everyone.
And this is just for him. The others don't have any other, bring any other increases along with them. It's just their own personal increase.
Right.
I certainly think moving people to 15 doesn't sound unreasonable. I mean, I'm not sure what the right thing to do is with that individual is.
I mean, we're not talking about much in regards to moving everybody to 15. Yeah, I mean, if you don't feel that it's a conflict with what the contract is with the school district and that kind of stuff, then let's just move them to 15.
Every year we increase the school contract slightly by 2 or 3%. So there's money within the school contract to pay him. Certainly the additional $265 a year is there in the contract to pay. I think it would just be a nice gesture because the man stands down there in all weather, rain, snow, cold. He is here and he's a very dedicated employee. I'll tell you what, it's very hard to find school guards.
Yeah, I mean,
hard.
if the money's in the contract, I would do that. I guess it wasn't clear to me.
Yeah, actually, with this employee, Jack, the school district pays us 100%, so it's nothing out of our budget.
Oh,
Yeah,
Nothing
I'd say
additional.
well, that makes
let's
sense.
do it. What do you think, Joey?
I think we should do it. But I do have a question. I got here late and I'm sorry. The police clerk, were you thinking of giving her a raise? Did I catch that, or
Yes.
did I? And what were you thinking of giving her?
Well, she would be going from $12.68 an hour to $15 an hour. Now,
And how long
remember
has
when
she been with us?
I don't know. I can't. Couple
Well,
months.
she's met the probationary period.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Okay,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
right.
But
yeah. I think maybe Joey's onto something good there. That maybe in the future when we have new hires, you don't start them at 15, but once they go through probation, they get to the 15.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
well, I know when she was hired, when we hired her, council hired her, there was a discussion about giving her a raise after she completed her probation.
Okay, that's fine. I don't have a problem. I just was curious. Like I said, I'm sorry I got late, but so no,
Okay.
that's fine.
Any other questions on these salaries? If you're okay with them, what we will do is make the appropriate changes for the final reading of the budget, which will be at the November council meeting.
Sounds good to
Is that
me.
okay with everyone?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, while we're on that subject, any last minute changes to the budget? Does anyone have any comments regarding the budget? Tonight you will be doing the tentative adoption of the budget. The budget then goes on public display for 30 days. Citizens can come in, look at the budget, make comments, and the final adoption would be at the November meeting. So this is not the final adoption of the budget. This is a tentative adoption to put it on display.
And the budget currently has a freeze on salaries
Yes,
and an
yes.
additional 5% co-payment or contribution from employees for their health.
We haven't decided on that yet. That
Okay.
is not, it's still at 15%.
Right. Is there another way we can do this? I'm uncomfortable with people not getting some sort of raise.
It's up to you. It's up to council. We can do it. You just need to tell me what you're comfortable with.
Yeah. Are there obvious places that it would come from? Other, I mean, I know we don't have a very fat budget, but
Well,
could we identify?
we have an unallocated balance in the budget that we certainly can draw from. Remember, right now, the employees that you would be looking at would be Dave Hanshu, Lindsay. Your police are already covered by contract, so you're not really looking. If you do your part-timers, and the only Rob Mellinger, Dave Hanshu, and Lindsay would be your 3 employees that you would be granting raises to.
What about you?
I'm happy where I am, Jack. Money's tight.
So do we know what it would cost to make those changes? I mean, to give them a,
Well, you tell me what you have in mind. Is it 2% or 3%? And then I can, give you a calculation for the final reading of the budget, whatever you have in mind.
well, maybe you could do it at 2% and 3%. Let us know what it looks like.
3%?
Yes.
Your 2 cents?
Yes. Thank you, Joey.
Okay. All right, well, I will come up with a final salary worksheet, which will reflect all these changes. And I'll get it out to you so you can have a chance to look at it before we do the final reading. How's that?
And just so we're clear, like tonight, when we vote on the tentative budget, we aren't, there, it's just basically it's just basically a move to publish the document as it is. We can certainly make changes to it like Fred is going to propose here. We can make changes to it later, but it's, it's basically what we have to do. I just don't want there to be confusion that, this might change and that might change. That is true. It might change. But this is the step we have to take. I probably didn't explain that very well.
Well, the best way to describe it is right now you have a working budget. It could change. In the next 30 days, one of you may call me and say, hey, you forgot about fixing a sidewalk. We need to put money in for that. There might be something we overlooked. We also might find out some new revenue sources coming to the borough, and we have to factor that in. So there could be any number of changes. Right now, what you're doing is you're advertising what you all consider as a council a tentative budget. The tentative budget goes on display, then we work towards a final budget. So certainly this budget tonight can be modified over the next 30 days. It can be modified up till Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve.
Okay.
Okay. All right, we have an invoice, Joey, from Conifer Hills Tree Farm for the Christmas wreaths, and
Right,
it's $525.
right.
Did you receive that?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So
So
I d-
I'd like to put it in. Go ahead.
I would recommend that we only adopt this tentatively, because right
Mhm.
now, I don't think we have 5 orders downstairs for a
Okay.
Christmas wreath.
Okay,
Very slow,
Okay.
so
all right.
perhaps this, with the virus and everything, perhaps this year is not a year to consider
Good
it,
year
but
to do it. Yeah. Yeah. All right, we can do that and see
Wait.
how it goes.
When's that deadline?
We had made it, I
Uh,
think, November 6th.
yes.
Yeah.
Right. Mayor had a-
How many orders do we need to make it viable?
Well, we are purchasing 50 wreaths. She's going to make her minimum order to make up is 50. So we've got a long ways to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna come down and order one for my mother.
I mean, we can take the chance of selling these, you know. But you would think if people really wanted a wreath, they would make an order for it now so that they knew they had it.
Well, we still have a little bit of time. We have the rest of this week and then all of next week. So, yeah, I was hoping that, people from Neighbors in Christ that are, out there, they would put in, and even some of the people that were at the food bank would put orders in. And I did make an announcement at our church this past Sunday. So let's just wait and see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah,
How do you make,
when the beautification committee had their resales in the past, we set up a stand at the fountain
Mhm.
and we got a lot of drive-by sales where people would stop, they would see the wreaths and they would buy one on the spot.
Right.
I don't know, perhaps too late to set anything like that up now, but we want to do it in the future. Might be a better way to do it.
Right.
how do we
Right.
order? how do we order a wreath?
You go to the Borough website.
Okay, I should know that. Okay,
Okay,
yes, I will do that.
thank you.
Actually, my sister wants one too, so there's two.
There's two. And I know I ordered 3 today, so,
And we'll order 3.
okay. Okay,
Sounds like a good number.
right. So, I think that, if we talk about it at the meeting here tonight and, it should be a requirement of all council members to buy at least one. But,
Maybe we can have a competition and see who can buy the most.
that's right. No, we won't do that.
I have 25 windows here.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just wait and see. Did they tell you when you had to have this invoice paid by, Fred?
No, she's not really so much worried about that as she is making sure she has the everything ready for it.
Right.
I mean, she would be satisfied, frankly, if, when we pick everything up on the Friday after Thanksgiving, that
Mhm.
get paid then.
Okay. All righty. All right. Okay.
Okay,
Yep, we'll just table this until maybe our work session, see how things go here over the next couple of days. And all right.
okay. All right, the tax collector gave me her report today, and there's really no change from last month. She collected 0 taxes in the month of October, nothing for real estate and nothing for occupation. What remains outstanding is $18,967.40 on real estate taxes and $5,850 on occupational taxes, for a total of $24,817.40. November 1st, we go into penalty period for the month of November and December. So hopefully people will get their taxes paid. And December is always a month where we do get people that just, they wait till the last month of the year and come in and pay us. So that's where we are. And I just wanted to give you a little bit of a look at revenues for the next 2 months. Of course, October was not a good month. What we are projecting for November is our receipt of the Renew Cumberland grant, which is $24,000. EIT historically is between $13,000 and $15,000 in November. Local services tax is also between $1,000 and $2,000. Realty transfer tax, November and December housing sales start to drop off, so I wouldn't project much more than $1,000. Clerk of courts, $400. Traffic fines from the police department, $1,500. We do receive our cable TV franchise fee, and that fee is $3,500. That usually comes in early November. And whatever we would take in tax payments, obviously would be good. You know how much is outstanding there. So we have $45,400 budgeted for the month of November as our goal to make. Now, the month of December is also a very good EIT month. That's even higher than November. Sometimes we see as high as 18 to 20,000 in December. And another wild card for us before the end of the year would be if the sale of the ribbon factory should go through. We could see, a realty transfer tax payment there of anywhere from $7,000 to $10,000, which would be quite substantial. So there is optimism for November and December. Again, they are, at least from the earned income tax standpoint, they are good months financially. Anyone have any questions on that or where we stand? Okay, the balances from the treasurer's report The general fund balance at the end of September was $5,267.43. Rental fund checking, $1,411.40. Street lighting account has $607.35. Fire tax account, $55,120.54. And our general expense debit card, $2,063.29. The Newville area events account has $5,131.40. The Highway 8 checking account at Mid-Penn Bank has $15,040.40. Payroll had a balance of $4,958.68. In the police department, the checking account at Belco, $7,349.40. The K-9 fund at Belco, $1,118.35. The auxiliary police, $221. Police debit card has $281.43. We did make the payment of $1,000 from the general fund to the police department so that they could complete the purchase of the handgun. Police pension plan has $300,048.39. Non-uniform pension plan, $457,054.49. The joint veterans account for the banners has $946.63, and the capital improvement fund has $1,467.25. The tax loan fund has $2,738.26 remaining. Any questions on the balances? Okay, on the list of bills, Chamberlain Wingard sanitation, the restroom for the park, $295. Boston Mutual disability and life insurance. Is there a question? I'm sorry. $195.50. Ed Mill Fuels, Public Works Fuel, $333.26. Higher Information Group, color copy surcharges, $29.04. AB Martin Supply Company, $102.96. PA Municipal Code Alliance for Code Enforcement and Zoning Services, $2,067.35. Moorfield Communications, the virus protection for our computers, $137.16. Higher Information Group, the copier leases, and also some additional color surcharges, $374 for the 2 copiers. Sailors Market Trailhead Cleaning Supplies, $71.53. Crime Intervention Alarm, repair a camera at the park due to a lightning strike, $831. Barrick Tire, a terminal end for a battery, $2.50. Amtrust, this can actually come off. I've paid this by telephone with our workers' comp bill this month. This Amtrust audit balance is an audit that they do of our workers' comp account, and we either owe money or we get money back as a refund. This year we owe $1,693, and as I said, that was paid with our workers' comp installment this month. It was actually paid last week, so that can come off the bill list. And DACO, DPW uniforms, $379.56. Sherwin-Williams paint, a strainer, $8.82. Irwin and McKnight EDA solicitor, $180. Irwin and McKnight Borough solicitor, $1,059.30. And the News Chronicle for notices for the month of September, $335. So if you take your balance there of $8,094.
6401.98.
Okay, thank you. And you have one Highway 8 bill. It was the bill to repair the tree chipper, and the amount of that bill was $612.99.
Fred,
Any questions?
the repair bill for the camera at the park, does our insurance reimburse us for that?
No, our deductible is $1,000.
Okay.
We have $1,000 deductible. Any other questions on the bills?
All right.
Does anyone have any other questions on any of the financial matters?
Anybody? Okay. Yeah, go ahead and turn the live